Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Today we're going to talk about going to a new school. Now, some of you are going to be changing from pre K to kindergarten, or some of you are at home with your parents, and maybe you're going to be starting school in pre K this year coming up. Sometimes going to a new school can be a little scary, but once you're there, I think you're going to love it. We're going to read a story today. We're going to do a book walk. A book walk means we're going to look at the pictures and talk about what we see. And I think this book walk might help you if you are wondering what is at a school? What's it going to look like inside? This book might help you a little bit. And it has one of your favorite characters, my friends, Pete the cat. He goes to his school and he talks about the different parts of his school. So we're going to do a book walk with his book and we're going to see what we can learn about schools. The title of the book is Pete the Cat, Rocking in My School Shoes. Let's look at the front cover illustration. Do you see his school shoes? They look like there's some red tennis shoes. And he's playing a guitar. And if you look down here in the corner, I see a lunch kit. And he has his name on it. It says Pete's Lunch. Pete the cat is going to go to school. So let's pretend that he's going to go to pre-K or kindergarten for the very first time. Let's see what happens to old Pete. The end pages in this very famous book show a school bus, and I see Pete getting on the school bus right there. Some of you might be riding a school bus to your new school. And if you do, you'll be on there with lots of friends, and there'll be a bus driver who will take care of you. Some of you might go to school walking if you live close by, or maybe your mom or dad or grandma or even your daycare might drop you off at your school. Let's see what happens to Pete when he goes to his school. Here comes Pete rolling down the street, rocking his red shoes on his four furry feet. So he's going to school. He's got his backpack. That's important. Always bring your backpack every day. And he's got his lunch kit. And guess what, friends? He must be happy because he's singing on his way to school. He says, I'm rocking in my school shoes. I'm rocking in my school shoes. I'm rocking in my school shoes. Yeah! So he's excited. He's happy to be going to school. When he gets to school, I see that his classroom has desks, and I see a board up here, and I see his teacher. When you go to pre K or to kindergarten, your classroom might have desks, like Pete's classroom, or it might have tables where you sit next to friends. But this is pretty much what the room might look like. If I look closely and I use my eagle eye, I see an alphabet up here on top. And this is a chalkboard in this picture. Sometimes teachers write on a chalkboard, or your teacher might have a dry erase board. That's where they use markers, or a Promethean board. Here's another place in Pete's school. It says the library. Did you know that schools have libraries inside of them? That's right. Lots and lots and lots of books. And you'll get to check out those books and take them home and borrow them, read them, and then bring them back. You might even have a librarian who reads stories to you in the library. Look at Pete. He's checked out a book right there. And I see a cowboy and a cat with a cowboy hat on. The title of his book is Wild Wild West. He must like to read about cowboys. Look, now he's reading a different book. Look at the illustration. Can you tell what he's reading about? Is it dinosaurs? He must love it because he's singing again, friends. He said, I'm reading in my school shoes. I'm reading in my school shoes. I'm reading in my school shoes. Yeah. So Pete looks like he's loving his school, right, my friends? We've seen his classroom. We've seen the library. Let's see what else is at Pete's school. Oh, look at the illustrations. I see Pete, and I see his lunch kit and a fork, and I see other friends with their lunches. Some friends have a cafeteria tray, and other friends have a lunch kit like Pete does. This is called the cafeteria, my friends. That's where you go and eat lunch. You can practice eating in a cafeteria right now. Did you know that? You can go to a restaurant that has a cafeteria where you carry trays and grown-ups help you put food on your tray, and then you go sit down at a table like these guys are doing. This room is called the cafeteria. It's a big, big room in your new school. Oh, in this story about Pete, the author calls it the lunchroom. So there's another word for that room. Cafeteria, lunchroom, same thing. Oh, look, Pete's holding a carton of milk. When you go to big school or your new school for pre-K or kindergarten, you will have to learn how to open your milk. There'll be some grown-ups there to help you though, so don't worry. Pete, it says. Does Pete worry? Do you think he's worrying about opening up that carton of milk? I don't know. Let's see. No, he's not worried at all. He says, I'm eating in the school shoes. I'm eating in the school shoes. I'm eating in the school shoes. Yeah. He's doing well, isn't he, friends? Ooh, look at the next illustration. Can you tell where Pete is in this picture? If you said outside, you are right. I think it's outside because I see clouds, I see the sky, I see grass. Pete's on the playground, my friends. Do you see him on top of the slide? And if you look in the background, you can see some of his friends on a swing set. Does your new school have a playground or a place where you can play outside? Maybe you go with your PE class and exercise and you play with your friends. The playground. The author put the word very big, the playground. Does Pete worry? Goodness, no. He slides and he swings and he sings his song. I'm playing in my school shoes. I'm playing in my school shoes. I'm playing in my school shoes. Yeah. So now we've seen a lot of parts of Pete's new school. We saw his classroom. We saw his library. We saw the cafeteria or the lunchroom. We've seen outside on the playground. Look at all the things Pete does when he goes to pre-K or kindergarten. He makes friends. He sings songs. Oh, I love this illustration. What's he doing, everybody? That's right, he's painting. Here he's writing on the chalkboard. Look, he's writing his numbers. That's something else you'll do in pre-K or kindergarten. And he's learning to write with a pencil. Do you see Pete right here? He's writing a word, cat. You'll learn to write and use pencils and crayons in pre-K and kindergarten too. And guess what? Pete's school day is over. At the end of the day, it looks like Pete goes back home in a school bus. At the end of your pre-K day or kindergarten day, you'll go back home also, back to the people who love you and take care of you. You might walk, you might ride in a car, you might go to a daycare in a daycare van, or you might ride in a school bus like Pete. When Pete got off his bus, look who was waiting for him. That's right, it's his mommy. She was waiting for him. She asks him a question, my friends. She says, Pete, what did you do at school today? And do you know what Pete said? He said, I was rocking in my school shoes. I was rocking in my school shoes. I'm rocking in my school shoes. Yeah! And he'll do it again tomorrow. So it looks like Pete had a great day because he says it's all good. That means he was happy at his new school. When you go to pre-K or kindergarten, friends, remember how happy Pete the cat was when he went to school. There'll be teachers there to take care of you, and at the end of the day, you go back home to the people who love you and take care of you at home. I hope you liked this book walk called Pete the Cat, Rockin' in My School Shoes. Pete the Cat is a very famous book character right now, my friends. The author of these stories is Eric Litwin, and the illustrator is James Dean. He's the man who created these beautiful illustrations. There are a lot of books about Pete the Cat. So if you haven't read any of them, ask your mom or dad, whoever takes care of you, to take you to the library and check it out. All right, my friends, have a great new school year at pre-K or kindergarten, and I'll see you here next time. Bye-bye.